Okay, so question: Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor.
You playing on PC?
So I bought the game, then got in touch with somebody with EA who sent me a code for PlayStation and PC. Then I refunded the game. Then I put in the code they sent me. So I was playing on PC. So I'm going to preface this. I am not madly in love with the Star Wars brand. I think laser swords are cool as shit. But I'm not like the setting is not doing it for me by default, right? It's like a setting that I'm interested to see stuff happen in, right?
Interesting. I I I feel a bit of that, but I know deep inside there's a little sun sun where they can do things that get me nostalgically.
Yeah,
Star
no,
Wars.
there's some Jedi laser sword magic they can do that I'm like, yeah, oh, yeah,
There's
okay.
little things that Star Wars can always do where I go, oh, it's the TIE fighter noise, you know?
Right.
Oh.
Like, you know, every time a Twi'lek or a weirdo talked to me, I just like under my breath went Muka Shaka Paka. Right. So that being said, the game is wildly up. Like so. it is wildly up.
I'll read the headline from the docket. Digital Foundry, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the worst AAA PC port of 2023.
It is so it's the first game I am rating on a new scale, and the new scale is how hot this room gets. Okay. I was barely handling 60 FPS with some bad stuttering, and I had to take my flannel off and open a window, and I was sweating.
Oh my god.
Because my PC with a 4090 in it was at 100% the whole time. In
all
loading
cores.
Screens, on the title screen, when I'm looking at a wall, like it is like I am able to play it approaching 60 to 70 FPS, but with like bad stuttering when I move around, right? It is pushing my rig to the max.
That's insane.
And it is ridiculous. And I loaded up the PS5 version to compare. Thank you, EA, for the code. And like within 5 seconds, I'm like, there is a bunch of screen tearing all over the place, and the frame rate is like barely an improvement. The stuttering's gone.
It's always really interesting when you're in a generation where your PC is at a comparable strength to your console, and you can just watch the game that you pop in. You immediately know this is not my fault. This is not on me. This
PC is so much stronger than the console.
That's
way stronger than the
so
console.
You just know it's 100%.
And
what the kind of threading is this game doing? Yeah.
It is dying. It also has like a wide variety of bugs. If you change any of the options for graphics, the game gets stuck at half resolution.
155 gigs?
Yeah, 155. Remember we talked about it?
Yeah, true. They said you have to download the disc. That's why the physical forces the download. Oh my god.
Okay. And it is like,
oh god.
It's one of those things, and it's like, you know, I streamed it for 2 days, and I was pretty down on it. And like, there is very likely a really pretty good 8 or 9 out of 10 in there. It is impossible to separate it from how fucked up it is all the time. I didn't run into any outrageous bugs. I didn't run into anything that was like extremely broken. What I ran into was a really, really subpar technical experience on every level, and to the point where like it is the first game I have ever streamed that people could hear the computer through this microphone.
Okay.
I thought I ran tests that thing was far enough away from this microphone that it would never pick up. Jedi Survivor can put these things fucking fans into this microphone and people can hear them over the main menu.
When you switch to console, most of that was gone.
No. When you switch to console, you get screen tearing and the stuttering leaves, but the frame rate is about the same. The game does not want to run at a real frame rate. It wants to dip. On PC, when it dips, it stutters. On console, when it dips.
Jesus. Okay.
The acting and the game. This is a really minor point, actually. Mm-hmm. The animations in the game when you move are fucking terrible, and he fucking drags his lightsaber behind him like a little weirdo monkey man. Like running like. Okay, I'm playing a Star Wars game where I want to play as a Jedi, right? I want to be a cool Jedi Knight with my fucking laser sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I have two lightsabers out, which is the thing that I want because I think two lightsabers are cool, he does a Naruto run with them behind him. And his shoulders keep going up and down, and it looks like dog shit.
I mean, sounds like Force Unleashed shit going on.
And I'm like, you're ruining it for me. You're ruining it for me. Stop it.
That sounds like some Starkiller, baby.
Yeah.
So obvious question, but how was Fallen Order on PC?
Better, but not perfect. It had some of the performance stuff where it would be like it would stutter here and there, and the frame rate wasn't as good as it should have been. But we didn't have this conversation about Fallen Order because Fallen Order wasn't all fucked up.
Not at all.
Also, the day that it came out, there was like a big apology letter. Like, we're really sorry. We realized that, and you're like, go fuck yourself. But my personal favorite, I'm not going to be able to find it right now, but I want to read you the exact text. Oh God, there is a potential. I'm gonna try and find the exact phrasing because
let me help you out there.
Oh, you have it?
Unexpected error. You seem to have bypassed certain story elements. Continuing to play from this point may encounter issues. If you choose to proceed anyway, loading any future saves from the title screen will give you the option to reload prior to this point. Reload from last save point? Load. Continue from the last good save. You may lose some progress, but will avoid game-breaking issues. And then it gives you the location. Or proceed anyway. Continue with the broken state. This is not recommended. Things will likely be broken.
I want to point out, I'm seeing somebody say that these are all Pat Mind Goblins, that the game is great. I'm sure the game is great underneath all of this stuff. But to describe the wide-ranging variety of issues everyone is having with this game as, whatever, patch, like, it's fucking so stupid. We're looking at a splash screen, a custom-built splash screen, because the issue of broken saves is so common and was going to happen so often, they built a system to fix your saves, and that system doesn't work.
I need to explain very carefully what would happen if I was testing and this message popped up on the compliance team. We take a screenshot, we take a video, we take that and we put it on the desktop and we get ready to write the bug up. But before we do any of that, we call a meeting. I call a meeting in the boardroom right over there. We draw the curtains. We sit around. We pull that up, and we fucking howl for at least 25 minutes at that screenshot, because that is the most insane thing you could ever propose. The idea of confronting a corrupted save in this, but this is where PC shit gets wild, right? Because a lot of the time, Nintendo, Sony, Xbox, yada yada, they will often have things that say, you can't fucking do that. You can't go, hey man, your save's kind of fucked up. It's a risky proposition, but it's up to you if you want to.
Hold up my hand here. Gotta stop you. Gotta stop you. The screenshot is from the Xbox version.
So this is the thing. This is what's fucked up, right? A lot of that over time, like, gets more PC-like, and they get more hands-off. And so that is a crazy idea from what the era that I came from, at the very least, that you would propose maybe you want to keep using your corrupted save, maybe? We're not sure. It's up to you if something goes wrong. And not only that, the language is like so vague. Like they're such sticklers for, or they were such sticklers for language and making sure that the player understands destructive actions. And there used to be a huge thing about that. This is crazy that you would like let that slide and go, hey man, I don't know, but it's up to you if you want to fucking.
I really need to dig into this, because this is like the fucking most funny thing about it. What is the cross section of? Is the problem is so well known that we have enough time to try and build a system to fix it after the bug happens, but we don't have enough time to actually fix it at all. Like, so, what is that?
Like there would be times where a game that's really poorly made would have something like this, right? And the default state back in the day, again, I'm years removed from, you know, those guidelines, would be error. Your data is corrupted. Something's wrong with it, right? Either the save is corrupted and it's gone, or if you can retrieve a previous save, we're just forcing that situation to occur. You're gonna lose progress, but it's because something fucked up happened, right? If the game shipped in a way where that was caused by not the user's actions, like, that would be like they'd have to have gotten a waiver and paid them off, which guess what? EA and Star Wars can probably do. You know, they can pay enough money to be like, yeah, let us ship a game where we get something fucked up like that. But you would never give a choice. You would always pick the soundest option, which is not letting the corrupted data continue to be used, mind you. You'd get rid of it, and you'd always drop them back to a clean save wherever you can, or the whole thing's corrupted and it's gone.
I mean, I should also mention that the gentleman his post is going around by this described that when it went to load the clean save was also ruinously broken, and he got stuck and would have had to restart the whole game anywhere because it was just broken. It was like, hey, can you fix this? And he went, okay, I guess. And then it was like, nah, still broken.
This is to even address the other bit, where it's just like, I mean, it's not as like fucking sensational, but like crash to desktop hard, just videos of that, you know. So it is wild when a game is having this type of slop go on, but there's enough money to like just pay for some waivers, pay for some shit, like get some things smoothed over.
You know what this feels like?
The state you get this game in.
The landlord special over a roach. Right? I don't know if people are familiar with what that is. The landlord special is you're moving out and your landlord needs to make the place nice. So they just fucking shittily paint over everything, and they paint over hair, they paint over roaches, they paint over furniture.
God, man. Yeah. I just I can't believe they actually write that and go, hey, I don't know, it's up to you.
And like, hey, if the game ran well and didn't have any problems, I would probably look at it and be like, this is a pretty good feeling Star Wars game that apparently, according to people that have beaten it, it has a really good story. It has a lot of cool shit in it. I find it totally impossible to extricate the experience that I'm having where I'm constantly frustrated and low-key worried that the game's going to die on me. And my personal favorite is that this game, which is on fire as you're playing it and heating up my office to the point where I'm uncomfortable, also costs $10 more than the average game.
Yay! Yeah. My favorite part is that how 0% of this conversation has been about the content of the video game as a sequel to Fallen Order, which
Let me tell you.
last time we talked about it, we were like, yeah,
is fun.
Yeah,
no shit.
But last time, you know, I remember having multiple conversations with this game with different people, and it was all about like, oh, what Respawn went for, how comparing it to Souls, and then like, oh, the sisters, was it the
second and ninth sister?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then like the lore implications and all these things that were like about how to be a Jedi with this type of combat system, and none of it about any of this technical stuff.
Hey, guess what? There is totally swinging your lightsaber around and fighting robots and stormtroopers and deflecting blaster bolts, and hey, that's fun. It's not quite as tight or fun as it should be, but it's still pretty fun. And the story seems well acted. It's also like hilarious in its like predictability. Okay, so let me paint a picture for you. In the very first level in the game, you're in Coruscant, and you're gonna go find this evil senator and shake him down for information, blah blah blah, with your team of bros, right? Now you have the one bro that helped you in combat and had a button. His name's Bodhi. I forget his Broden, whatever, B something. And he's got a jetpack and he's cool and he has a button when you're in combat with him. Then you meet a bunch of other people that are helping you on the job that are given names, and you go into a little ship, right? And you have a little talkie section where you can walk around and talk to everybody, right? And be like, hey, alien guys, hey, lady, blah blah blah. We're gonna do this mission. And then Bodhi shows you his fucking daughter and goes, oh, I gotta get the credits to save my daughter because I love my daughter so much in the Empire, you know. And then I'm looking at the door and I go, okay, here's what's going to happen, everyone. We're going to walk out the door and a rocket is going to blow up something from out of frame. Then everyone in this room except for Bodhi is going to die. Then we will be attacked by a Sith, in which we will fight a boss fight that will tell us how to do lightsaber combat. Then eventually Bodhi will betray us because he's the only one who survived. And sure enough, bop, 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 bop. One after another. Now, Bodhi didn't betray me. He did not betray me in the time that I played. He did show up later, and I'm staring at this character going, you are the Star Wars character that is going to betray me. And I bet you, if I look into chat right now, someone will tell me, oh yeah, dude, that dude totally betrays you, because it is the most obvious, predictable shit in the fucking world. And when that happens in the first couple of hours, and I'm like going, this is going to happen, and then it happens. This is going to happen, and then it happens. This is going to happen, and then it happens. It's really hard for me to be interested in a story that is so by the numbers that I just know.
Okay. I have a potential fix. What if you imagine it's Bodhi from The Wire?
Yeah, I wish.
With the do-rag on.
I fucking wish, dude.
Holding down his corner.
Too old for this shit.
Yo, holding down his corner, man. Right? And then he's got a little pocket lightsaber.
I will say, one of the things that I really like about the game that is a minor detail is that you like find beards and hairstyles in chests around. And the two of the first ones that you unlock are like a fucking disgusting handlebar mustache and a freak ass mullet.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Cal Kestis is fucking just shit kicking around the galaxy, and he looks like a fucking piece of shit.
Fucking Jedi Dubois.
Yeah, I think it's I think that part is great. But yeah, no, I feel like it's impossible for me to give the game a fair shake, and I shouldn't have to when the game is in this fucked up state, and it costs more than a regular game. Therefore, it must be held to a higher scrutiny because this is quadruple A, baby, right? This is the future. Games got to cost more because they're going to be so good. Well, not this one, man.
It's that quadruple A tax, that extra fuck you cost thrown on top of it. Wonderful. That's
like the timing on it.
Great.
The timing is I played Cassette Beasts, and then when the game came out at midnight, I switched to Jedi Survivor, and I was like, all of you watching should buy Cassette Beasts and buy 3 of your friends Cassette Beasts instead of buying Jedi Survivor.
So what I'm curious about is, as I was reading this story, there was an update a day ago, which apparently there's the first of many patches has dropped to try.
I've heard that it helps a little.
So from what I've seen, it still stutters. Frame rate still is completely unstable, but some of the other initial problems that Digital Foundry were reporting on get covered by the patch.
You know what? Maybe this is unfair, but Woolie, you'd be able to tell me if it's unfair. It's my opinion that when a game comes out wildly fucked up,
okay,
wildly fucked up,
you got to chain it to them forever.
No.
Oh, okay.
But if it comes out wildly fucked up, and then within like 5 days, they're like, here's a patch that helps a little bit. And then a week later, there goes, here's another patch that helps a little bit. And so on and so forth to a stable state in the future. That it seems like maybe they kicked it out the door too early. And this should have been the normal case of development to work on it for 3 more months.
That's not hypothetical. That's absolutely certain. They got the white papers for whatever game was going through, certification, get conditional passes, which are your day 1 patch will fix these issues.
It does not.
They'll make deals. Absolutely. What you're describing is a part of the process where you basically go, all right, look, we promise you, right? We'll go from Gold Master. We'll take this build. It'll be fucked up. But the patch on day 1 is absolutely going to fix these issues, yada, yada. And don't worry about it because nobody's ever going to play this in a cabin in the woods where there's no internet. So everyone, besides, you have to download.
You can't.
You have to download it, right? Exactly. So no one will ever know the unpatched version of the game. So it's fine.
Like, let's take, somebody made a really great point. Final Fantasy 16 has been content done for like a year. Like, it's like a full year of development on that game is clean it up, make sure it runs good, make sure there's no crust hiding around the edges, make sure it's nice and polished. Whereas this thing, you could throw this game back in the fucking oven for 6 more months and it would probably still come out kind of fucked up.